yesterday, but I thought let's go about it today just with a bit more of a chiller, slower vibe, and hopefully you guys can still enjoy it. But yeah, if anyone here is new, SuperEx is a great platform for crypto trading. It's really great for beginners or even people who have been doing it for years with advanced knowledge. I myself have been self-taught for the last 2 months, and yeah, hopefully you guys are going to find something, everyone will find something to do with my live stream that can be of interest, even if you are new, beginner, or completely have no idea what I'm talking about. I will go over a little bit what Bitcoin itself, what cryptocurrency itself is. So yeah, hopefully you guys can enjoy my live stream today. I'm going to do a bit of like top news of what's happening in the world right now when it comes to investments and cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin's EFTs appear to be turning a corner after a record outflow breed hit $8 billion, with investors having backed away from the funds since mid-May. All right, that's good to know. Also, Adam Black Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company and Cantor Equity Partners are seeking to amend their 2025 SPAC merger terms to better reflect current market conditions. Also, stablecoin settled a TradeFi perpetual trading volume tops $1.1 trillion per Binance research as stablecoins gain traction as a settlement layer for tokenized markets, payments, and savings. Also, the Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey denies that lobbying for Nigel Farage swayed CBDC policy, stating central banking policy remained independent after their meeting on cryptocurrency. But who really knows? And a trader turns $85 into $2 million on Robinhood chain meme coin Cashcat, the latest favor of the hour in under 3 weeks. So who knows, guys? Maybe if you're able to, if you are an advanced trader or if you're someone new, maybe you can turn your $85 into something bigger as well. I just think it's really exciting that we have an opportunity like this where if you have some extra money, what I do try to recommend if you are new, don't put all your savings into it. Please start small, play around with it, see if you can understand what's happening. If you want to check out what the trends of the certain currencies are doing right now. So yeah, I would just say just go in with an open mind, but also just hesitant to begin with, especially if you're not fully aware of what's happening. Also, right now, Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, SOL, XRP all went down in the last day. I did tell you guys yesterday I thought Bitcoin was going down. It had a nice big jump recently. So like maybe around 2 or so weeks ago, it had a real like all-time low. And then of course what goes down must come back up. So it was going back up, but then it decided yet again, maybe now's about the time I go back down again. So yeah. Yeah, so that's the kind of update of what's happening in the world's news of finance and cryptocurrency. For anyone who is just popping in now and maybe is not totally familiar of what crypto is, I'll try to give it in quite simple terms. So cryptocurrency is kind of like a digital money that only exists online. It isn't controlled by a bank or government. Instead, it runs on blockchain technology, which securely records transactions in a real, transparent way. So some common examples that we've already mentioned are Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT. Bitcoin is often seen as like digital gold. Ethereum powers applications, and USDT is a stable coin that stays close to $1. So yeah, that's a kind of like little overview of what crypto is. If you guys remember, I did tell you that I got 2 fur babies recently, and I can hear one of them using the litter box like a good boy in the background. So I'm always really proud mama when I can hear my babies doing the right thing. But yeah, so today we are going to be going over, if there is anyone new and does not already have a SuperEx account, guys, it's free to set up. It's super easy to set up. I'm just going to send it in the comments down below. Let's make sure that sends through. Yeah, SuperEx, it's really good. Once you log in, well, once you start registering, they just ask for your phone number or email. You set it up with a 2-step authentication. Nope, I'm gonna not let my fur baby come onto my, He just decided, I want to come up and have a live stream as well. No, last time they tried to do a live stream with me, they were touching all my keyboards, my keys on the keyboard, and I don't think that's a very safe thing to do. But yeah, so yeah, setting up your SuperEx account, super simple. Guys, I say this probably a lot of times, but when you are setting up a password, especially for something like cryptocurrency, please, like for SuperEx that deals with cryptocurrency, please don't tell anyone your password. We're dealing with money here. This money is originally from your hard-earned money, from your paycheck or whatever it may be. Let's be good and smart and not be telling people what our passwords are, just so we can keep it nice and secure for everyone, okay? But yeah, love how super simple SuperEx is. I will get into it in a second, because we are going to be talking about our spot trading and our futures on SuperEx, which is the two main things that I touch upon. There is copy trading as well, which I think I'll touch upon on the weekend when I do a live stream. But right now, I think what's really important is making sure you guys understand how to spot trade and do futures. So let's go into spot trading first. It's something that if you're a beginner, I definitely would go towards spot trading first. Futures has similar elements to spot trading, but has a little bit of extra thought process goes into it. All right, let's go on to this is my perfect. Okay, so this is what the SuperEx spot trading screen looks like. I know it can be a little bit busy at first, and honestly, it's quite simple once you understand it. I could easily start putting buy some Bitcoin or USDT within 2 minutes, but we are going to take our time, just make sure you guys understand what is happening. So on the top left, this is our pair sector right up here. Right now we have Bitcoin and USDT, but honestly, you can switch to any token in seconds. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. The big chart in the middle here, this is like your trading view price chart. It shows you Bitcoin's price action live, and you can switch between 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, 1 week. I personally like to see the growth of it at least for a 24-hour, if not a 1 week timeline, just to kind of see what the trend is. But it really depends on how you feel with that. And then we have our order book right here. This shows you every buy order in green down below, and then every sell order in red in real time. For the time being, you don't really need to worry about that. As a beginner, I don't focus too much on that. But yeah, you can always go back to that if you want to look into it. And then area 4, this is the far right over here. This is kind of where the magic happens. This is the trading panel, and this is actually where we're going to be spending most of our time today. Okay. At the top of our trading panel, you're going to see one big green button, buy, and when I click sell, it's actually in red. Today we're going to be buying Bitcoin, so I'm going to keep it on buy. Right under there, we're going to see limit, market, and stop market. I want us to be using limit. Why is that? So like a market order buys at whatever the price the market is right now, so you kind of have no control. Whereas a limit order says, I'm only going to buy Bitcoin if the price drops to this number. So that's pretty much how we're going to make sure that we get what we want, and our losses are going to be quite limited. Okay, so you can go over to our far left here and change our trading pair. So you can search in the bar here. You can search whatever you want, be it ET, ETH, SOL, BNB, anything. SuperEx honestly has thousands of pairs. And then these tabs here help you choose between spot is for crypto, stock is for the US stock market. Yes, that's right. You can trade Apple, Tesla, whatever kind of stocks that we have on here. And then free market is for community listed tokens and so on. For today, I'm happy to stick with Bitcoin and USDT just because I think that's going to be more straightforward. USDT is great for especially beginners because it is just easier to kind of understand because it's essentially the US dollar. Okay, let me have a sip of water quickly. Okay, now let's go back to our trading panel where we're going to spend most of our time today. and we're gonna set our buy price. So right now, Bitcoin is sitting at around $62,246 dollars. So I'm gonna put our buy price at 62,000, and I just click the price field and I pop that in there. Okay, so that kind of means my order will sit at 62,000 until Bitcoin drops down to 62,000. Then my buy fills automatically. Until then, nothing happens. I'm in control. We're not chasing the market, which is amazeballs. Okay, and now we're gonna see total at the bottom here. That's how much USDT I'm gonna want to spend. And just for an example of today's demo, we're gonna do 50 USDT. And then you can kind of see what's happened. The amount field has automatically calculated how much Bitcoin I'll get. So in this case, I'll get around 0.0008 of a Bitcoin. I don't have to do the maths. That's what I love about SuperEx. I honestly, my brain can take a bit of like a backseat and allow the website to take control of that. But something to also note down here, it will show you what your available funds are. Remember I said I'm doing the 50 USD just as an example today. I'm not actually going to set this order, but I currently have 15 USDT in my account. So just a bit of a note is never go all in, especially if you guys are new. I don't want, oh, sorry, I got a bit of a hiccup just then. I don't want you guys to be putting everything in, losing it, and then getting discouraged. Whereas if you start little, you can learn from it and kind of grow and see how you go. But yeah, that's how I would do it, is just start smaller. Don't click everything that you have in your account. Okay, now this is going to be a really important part that most people tend to skip because it's like, oh, I'm just going to click buy straight away. No, take profit and stop loss. Right above the buy button, you'll see the checkbox, take profit and stop loss. We're going to tick it right there. And then two new fields have opened up. The first one is TP, take profit. So I'm going to put, let's see. All right, let's jump high. We're going to put 70,000 in there. So SuperEx even tells me right there in red that when the price reaches 70,000, it will trigger a market order, and my estimated P&L will be 6.14 USDT. So that means if Bitcoin moves up from 62,000 to 70,000, the platform sells my Bitcoin automatically. I lock in my profit when I'm asleep, while I'm at work, anywhere. We love that. That is a big jump. I probably would have gone a little bit lower, but just for the example today, I'm going big just to show you guys. And then our SL trigger, which is our stop loss, I'm going to set that one at, let me think, let's go 60 then, just for some nice even numbers. So kind of same logic, but opposite direction. If Bitcoin crashes from 62,000 to 60,000, the platform sells it immediately, so I will be losing 1.6 USDT. I'm not going to be losing 20, not losing 50. My downside is capped. So this message that SuperEx shows when the price reaches 60,000, it will trigger a market order. Read it, guys. SuperEx is really trying to help us along. They're not wanting to make you have to work too hard. They're trying to make sure you understand every step of the way of what you are doing, okay? And just make sure you guys always do both take profit and stop loss. You don't want to just do one. You want to have yourself secure in both ways. So the final step before you click anything is double check the numbers at the bottom. So let's scroll down a little bit here. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. All right, we've scrolled down. You check your available USDT. My balance says 15, so I wouldn't actually be able to put this one in, but that is where you'd make sure that everything reaches the numbers that you're happy with, and then you just click buy Bitcoin. It's as easy as that. Your order would then be live, and then if you go scroll down, you would then see your order here in the open orders tab at the bottom. You don't have to sit and watch it. The system honestly will handle everything. So if Bitcoin hits 62,000, you buy. If it hits 70,000, it sells for profit. If it crashes down to 60,000, it'll sell to cut your loss. 3 scenarios, all automated, and we love it. So that pretty much is as simple as it is for our spot trading. So pretty much what we did was we paired, we bought, like we click buy, we limit, price, amount, SP, SL, and then buy it. 7 steps, less than 2 minutes, honestly, once you've done it before. Yeah, I think that's a really great way for beginners to get into it. And as you guys saw, hopefully we didn't take up too much time. We did that in like 10 minutes, which I think is great. Spot trading is really a great one to start off with, and I will always say start small before you go to the bigger numbers, just so you know what you're doing. All right, let's have a look also at our futures today. Quick little disclaimer, futures are high risk. You can lose your whole margin in minutes. So please pay super close attention to what I'm clicking and what I'm talking about today, because this one is not as beginner friendly, but still, if you take your time, you'll be able to understand what it does and how to navigate it, okay? Okay, so this is our perpetuals futures screen. It kind of looks similar to spot trading, but with a few new pieces. So we've got 4 areas that we kind of want to scan here. We got the pair sector, which is up here. Right now we're trading Bitcoin USDT perpetual. You can switch between ETH, SOL, honestly anything there. The top center is this is the future specific data. It's the mark price is what the platform uses